Welcome to the Heart of Giving. This is something I have said for 4 years on this program, bringing to you the nonprofits of the City of Long Beach. I am so pleased to say that there are so many people involved in our community. Today is our last filming. It will continue so that you can find these tapes elsewhere. But I just wanted you to know that I have enjoyed being part of your family for 4 years. Today, somebody's going to interview me. And this gentleman, I want to tell you, has been a friend for years and years and years. I call him Sweetie Pie sometimes. But anyway, it's Derek Simpson. And Derek is not only in charge of PADNet, which is the public access filming, but also he is really responsible for the Community Action Partnership of Long Beach. And I want you to tell them what that is, Derek, so that they know what you're really doing with your time.
Absolutely.
So I'd like to introduce to you Derek Simpson.
Well, what an honor. And when you asked me about interviewing you, I thought, wow, I couldn't be more honored because we've been friends for so long.
Yeah, I know it.
Yes, I just love you to death, and the city loves you for everything that you do.
Oh, well, that's kind.
And so many people have met you through the Heart of Giving, but there may be some, such as in this room, millennials and younger, who don't really know who you are. And that's what I wanted to just start out with, some of that, because as we were talking before, you're a Long Beach girl, born here and all 3 schools here. Tell them a little bit about you, for those who don't know who Beverly O'Neill is.
I don't know if I can remember, it's so long ago. No, I was born in Long Beach at the Seaside Hospital. And I was raised in the city of Long Beach and always lived, it seemed to me, around Cherry and Anaheim. I went to Lee Elementary, Burbank Elementary, and then Hamilton Junior High, which is now Long Beach City College, the Pacific Coast campus.
Oh, wow.
And then I graduated from Poly, went to Long Beach City College, went to Cal State Long Beach, got my master's. I kind of became aware of me at City College, and I became aware of a career I could have at Cal State Long Beach. So I really feel that I'm beholden to this city, which I love dearly.
Now, even as you were at City College, you were making history there. I think you were saying you were like the first women's dean there.
That's when I went there. That was when I was hired by them.
Okay.
I stopped at the end of the college here. Then after I graduated, I became a kindergarten teacher in the Long Beach Unified School District. When I got my master's, I was hired by Long Beach City College as the women's advisor and taught some music classes. After that, I became a dean and then vice president, and then after being there 25 years, I became president for 5 years.
And I tried to get you to sing a song since you were in music, but you said that's not going to happen.
No, it's not going to happen.
Okay, we'll move on from that one then. But so when I met you, it was during that time that you were about to enter politics. And what an amazing mayor. We all know you as Mayor O'Neill. And
yeah, well, I look back, I never wanted to be a politician, and I never thought that was in anything that I would be part of. And when a large group of people whom I admired from Long Beach City College and the city asked if I could run for mayor, I said no. I didn't want to be a politician. And then, I feel they asked me for a couple of months, and I finally thought, I love this city so much, and the city has given me so much, that I'd like to make it better.
Right.
And I'd like, people to really be proud of their city, because it's such a special place. And so I said yes. And it was very interesting experience. It was very difficult campaigning, you know, because you have to talk about yourself and you have to, you know, say all of these things that.
It's all out there for the
Yeah,
public, right?
and I've never been that way.
No.
And that was hard for me. But when I became mayor, the first year I thought, what did I get myself into? But it took about a year of straight learning up every
Right.
day.
Right.
And I became mayor, and I was mayor for 6 years, and I just loved it. I
Yeah.
just loved it.
Yeah, and I read at one point in your reelection, you had 80% of the voters
Well, let's see.
in '98.
The first
I think
time
it
I
was.
ran, I can't remember, there were 13 of us running.
Right.
And then I ran with, as a final with Ray Grabinski.
Yeah.
And I became mayor that first time. The second time, the people that ran against me were not as well known. And then the third time, which was I would have to do as a write-in candidate. Oh, when I ran the second time, it was, I think, 70%. I don't think it was 80%.
I was giving you an extra 10%.
Yeah, well, I don't think it was that much. Anyway, that was the second time, and then the third time was the write-in.
Yeah, and that was historic in its own right.
Well,
being a write-in.
if they told me it hadn't been done in a big city, I probably would have had
Yeah.
real second thoughts. But I felt that the first 4 years that I was mayor, I wanted to get our land back from the Navy, because
Right.
when the Navy left, you know, they weren't just owned to say, okay, here it is. It was so complicated because we had the Navy station, we had the Navy hospital, we had Navy housing,
The
and
Navy
that left
shipyard,
land.
yeah.
And so I spent a lot of time the first 4 years in Washington, making sure that we had recognition of the fact that what's happening to us wasn't our fault.
Right.
And then the next 4 years is, well, now what are we going to do with it?
Yeah.
And then came the end of the second term, and I'm facing the fact we haven't even started. I mean, we know what we're going to do, but we haven't done anything yet. And so I ran because some of the people said that were running said, we don't like this direction. I thought, oh, my land. So anyway, I ran the third time,
Yeah.
and we started then.
Yeah, and you don't know this, but one of the first and only time I've ever been in the Pentagon was when Judy Seal and I actually went back during your term as mayor to talk to one of the high-ranking officers of the Navy about the land
Yeah.
and getting it back. And,
Oh, yeah.
and I was always proud of you for saying, you know, okay, because around the nation, that was when all the military bases
Oh,
were being
yes,
shut
all
down.
over. And some cities went
Right.
belly up because
Yeah.
they built housing around the Air Force and
Right, and everything. But you
Yeah.
said, okay, you're leaving, fine, give us our land back.
Yeah.
And we're going to do something great
Yeah.
with it. And for those who are younger may not know, when you talk about the town center, that's where the hospital was.
Yeah.
Really. And now
Yeah.
that's a shopping center, and,
Yeah.
and on and on. So you really made a profound difference in your leadership, and I was always proud of that.
Well, thank you. I think that probably anyone in my position would have seen that we couldn't have done it alone.
Right,
We had to have our land,
yeah,
and and they hadn't paid taxes to us for 60 years, you know. And
Yeah.
but they were gracious. But there was so much red tape. I would go back to Washington to see the office that I'd never even heard of one time and ask if they had signed the papers because they had to go someplace else after that. And they said, well, let's see. I think it's right here. And they'd go down this stack of papers and find it down, you know. And I think, oh, thank God I'm here, you know.
So let's fast forward then to you're out of politics, and your heart is in this city, and you know that there's more to this city than just the corporations, but it's the nonprofits and what they do.
Oh, thank you. Glad we got to the nonprofits. I think that the nonprofits in the city of Long Beach is the heart of the city. I mean, there are tens of thousands of people working in these organizations that really almost try to meet every need, whether it's hunger, abuse, homelessness, athletic or physical problems, grief problems, and there's a group that's helping them. I mean, and some of them are started by one or two people, or some of them have been there for years, or some are doing something that their grandmother started,
Right.
and they're keeping it alive. And it's men and women, and it just warms my heart. I just love doing the Heart of Giving.
Right. And how did you come up with that name? Was it because of the heart? Did you name
Well,
the show?
it was the heart of the city is what I
Okay.
was, and actually it was Sandra who came up with the Heart of Giving. I
Okay.
thought, oh, why didn't I think of that? Because it hit it right on the nail, or nail on the
Right.
head of the
And
nail.
and so now you mentioned Sandra because she was there in the beginning, and then you had Kathy, I think, come
Kathy
on board
Weeder,
and help.
Kathy Weeder helped me. This was, you had to, and PadNet was wonderful. They said yes, they would do the program.
Yeah, it was our
And,
honor.
Yeah, and well, we did this every month. We filmed 4 different groups, but we also had to raise money to get these. And I just want to give a thanks to the people that sponsored us. At the very beginning, I went to John Morris, the
Right.
restaurant,
Right.
who said he would get some guys together. And so we got 5 restaurants that helped. I'd say them only, I would probably forget one, and then I'd be mad at myself.
Okay.
But anyway, it was Legends and the McKenna's, and free conferencing was then part of it. Then the Long Beach Community Partnership, the Long Beach Community Foundation,
Right.
and then Memorial Hospital helped out.
Yeah.
And we got a little help from Don Kanabe towards the end. And it's just been a wonderful, wonderful thing
Lots
to
of
know
help
that they're
there. Yeah.
helped finance this program.
So why don't we take a quick break, because I think a few people want to say a special thanks to you, and then we'll come back and continue this conversation.
Really?
We'll
Who?
be right back on the Heart of Giving.
Congratulations, Beverly, and thank you so much for giving the Heart of Giving to the community for so many years. As a founder and a supporter of the Long Beach Community Foundation, we so much appreciate you taking the time to do this and really highlighting the nonprofits in Long Beach. It's the most important thing in our minds, that a way of giving back that you've done for us. Congratulations, and thank you so much again for all that you do for the Long Beach community.
Hi, Beverly. I just wanted to add my voice to the voice of others who are congratulating you on your tremendous accomplishment. 4 years of interviewing nonprofit agencies that get too little attention in town, but you've brought them to the forefront. It's a great thing you've done for the community. Thanks a lot. Congratulations.
Congratulations, Beverly, on the successful completion of your wonderful program, Heart of Giving. Whenever I've appeared on your show, you've always made me feel comfortable, and you've been so gracious, and I give you my very best wishes.
Hello, Beverly. Congratulations. I hear this is going to be your last Heart of the Giving presentation. I think it's wonderful. You know how much I admire you. I'm so sorry that they fired you and have let you go from the show. But there'll be other opportunities. Just take care, and it's really, it's too bad they fired you. Bye, Beverly.
Beverly, it has been such an honor to have worked with you for all these years, first during your entire mayoral tenure, which was just amazing, and then to have this great opportunity to work with you on Heart of Giving. And we've had so much fun, and it's been such an impactful show, and I'm so proud to have worked with you on it. I think the thing you have always said about nonprofits, that the nonprofits are the heart and soul of the city. And I think the reality is you are the heart and soul of the city. And I love you so much.
Welcome back. I'm Derek Simpson, and what an honor to be here with you. What'd you think about that surprise?
Oh, wow. I didn't know you were going to do that.
Well, you never know what I'm going to do,
Yeah,
right?
well, no, I love them all that was
Yes,
there.
yes.
Alan, was not fired.
He was having so much
I
fun
know it.
doing
Well, I
that.
love
He
it,
was
and I
having
love
so
him
much
for
fun. Yes, yes. And he talked about how he was on city council.
Oh, yes, we
back
were
during
together.
Those days.
We
Yes.
were together when he was first elected.
Yes.
I was mayor.
What a
So,
journey. He's
yeah.
been through so many things,
Oh,
and you have as
he's-
well.
He's, what a
Right.
wonderful representative we have
Right.
in here.
And then Jerry Miller,
Oh,
right?
Jerry Miller was my second city manager. The first was Jim Hankla,
Yes.
and then Jerry Miller. And I couldn't have worked with two more admirable, upstanding, smart, hardworking men than those two. I really admire so much.
And one person that couldn't make it, that wanted to be here, was Steve Goodling. And I know you had a special connection with him as well.
Yeah, he came as the head of tourism when I was mayor, and my mantra during the time I was mayor for the city was tourism, trade, technology, and retail. And you know, he made the tourism come alive.
Yes, yes. And it's thriving today.
Yes.
Speaking of thriving, nonprofits are thriving in this community, and
Oh.
people just don't really realize. I know that Judy Ross, when she was there, they would do a state of the nonprofits and talk about the economic impact. So it's not only from what they do programmatically, but also economically and
Oh,
hiring people
absolutely.
as well. What would you think about that?
Oh, well, I agree with that. I mean, the nonprofits add more depth to our city. You know, I mean, people think about the city as government, you know, potholes and safety, but they really don't understand about the nonprofits. And the nonprofits are people that give of their time and their money to make sure that the needs that we have in our community that can't be met by government are paid attention to. And I just, this 4 years has just been an eye-opener for me, and I've been involved with it for my whole life. And the nonprofits helped me when I was growing up. And I look back with great fondness on the Long Beach Day Nursery and the Long Beach the Children's Dental Clinic and places like that made a difference to me when I was growing up. So I just am so honored to have had a chance to speak and let them be known.
Tell their story.
And tell their story.
What would you say to people who are watching who maybe aren't involved in terms of being on a board or being a volunteer? How would you encourage them to get involved to continue this legacy that you're so proud of?
Well, not my legacy at all. It's just a way of finding out what's happening. And, you know, there's a part in your neighborhood where you can find this out. You can call the city, the housing, I can't think of the name of it now, it's been out too long.
No.
But there are ways to find out
Right.
just what's happening in the community, in your schools.
Right.
We had a young woman who started collecting school shoes because her son grew out of his shoes. And she's in several schools now, and she goes around to churches and gets children's
Right.
shoes that are, so I mean, just anything.
People just find a need and they get
helping
involved.
children walk home from school, you know, mothers at different places, they're just all over.
So, when I hear you say that, I think it's maybe easy for people to just find what they're passionate about and just start there.
That's
and just go from
absolutely,
there.
you hit the nail on the head, because what is it that you feel there's a need for?
Right,
Rather than complaining about it, do something about it.
right,
And there's a place where you can do that.
right. And I think at one time I heard with the Long Beach Nonprofit Partnership that there were maybe close to 500 or so nonprofits
More than that.
in this
More than
community,
that.
right? And so,
Oh, my, no.
so
Much
many
more than
things.
that. Yeah.
Right.
And the Long Beach Nonprofit Partnership would know where they could be
Absolutely.
useful.
Yeah, they do a good job, and we're actually going to have some of our staff trained over there in things like diversity awareness and other things. So they provide, on the other side of this, support for those
Sure.
nonprofits to make
Sure.
sure that they're meeting high
Sure.
standards, just like any
Sure.
other corporation would.
Yes,
So,
absolutely.
So, yeah.
No, when we first started, we were using them as a resource, you know, to
Right.
know the groups that we could work with. So,
When you think about the Heart of Giving and all the nonprofits that have been on the show, are there any particular, not that you call out one nonprofit, but any particular stories that come to mind about people that have been served or actions that have been taken?
Well, you know, we have the large nonprofits, of course, you know, like the Salvation Army and the Goodwill and those and Boy Scouts and Girl Scouts. I mean, those are also nonprofits.
Right.
But we dealt mainly with groups that were working within the community on whatever they felt was the greatest need.
Right.
Such as the one that is, if you are grieving a death, there is a place where you can, there are groups for that. If you are aged and you need help physically or not financially, but for food, there are
Support,
places.
right.
We have food finders, we have Meals on Wheels. I mean, there's so many and so many heartwarming things that, when I mentioned about someone getting shoes, a little boy said, you know, these are the best pair of shoes I've ever had.
Imagine
And
that.
the Rick-Rackers that do the uniforms for these children that have never had a backpack of their own or a pair of shoes or they've had hand-me-downs in the family. I mean, there's so many things that are small needs or big needs, and we need to pay attention to because if they're not small, they're the most important thing in the family.
Yeah, we had actually a principal tell us when we were talking about our teen program here, Derek, if you could figure out a way to give those teens a hot meal, you probably increase the enrollment in your
Absolutely.
program. And I thought, wow,
Absolutely.
we're in one of the largest cities in
Yeah.
America, and yet we're talking about giving teens in our city a
Well,
hot meal.
we have a men's group that was started, and they bring to food on Fridays, and the school chooses this where they see the need. Food on Friday for kids to take home to have food for the weekend.
Wow.
And they have made such a difference in the families. So whether it's shoes or food or feeling of importance or even leisure, whatever is happening is I think it's one of the biggest movements that this city has with people giving of themselves.
200 interviews, 92 episodes. That's quite an accomplishment.
Yeah, well, I wish there were more.
Yeah.
You know, this is, you know, this could go on forever, I think, because there are always new things happening and some that I've forgotten and like, you know, the Evelyn DuPont years ago had a thing for children in her pool, and this pool now, and she's not with us anymore, this pool now is being used for PTSD survivors, the elderly, the people that are handicapped. I mean, it's just continued on for years and years and years, so I'm really proud of the city.
I mentioned legacy earlier, and we had a clip of Alan Lowenthal in that break. But when he was here, he mentioned the word legacy, and I guess that's what stuck in my head. And we're going to show another quick video from Alan talking to you. How about that? And we're going to bring that up
What?
right now. So
You
why
didn't
don't-
tell me about all
Well,
this.
I can't tell you all my secrets. Come on.
Gee. Okay.
So we're going to do
Wow.
What is Beverly's legacy? Oh my gosh, Beverly is a giant. Beverly, as our mayor, I had the good fortune of serving with her for many years before I was elected to the state legislature. And what an honor. What a person of great integrity, great respect. You know, she was Long Beach. She lived it, she breathed it. She, you know, there's nobody, we'll never have another person like Beverly O'Neill. Not that there won't be other great people, but she really embodied this time and really helped Long Beach reach another level of greatness.
We'll never have another Beverly O'Neill. When I listen to that, I think about my granddaughter. We were talking about the grandkids. When she's reading the history of Long Beach as she gets into middle school, and other kids are reading about Mayor Beverly O'Neill, what do you want them to think about your legacy in Long Beach, Beverly?
Well, I was lucky. I was lucky that I had the opportunity to be part of the community I loved.
Well, we're lucky. We're very fortunate. And
you.
when you look at people such as Sincere Sentiments from Alan, and I know my board of directors, when I talked about this, were excited that we were going to have this opportunity to share with you what's going on in the community from the perspective of the Heart of Giving. PadNet TV, you've been a flagship show. You mentioned your sponsors, and you couldn't have done this without your sponsors.
Yeah, absolutely.
And there were so
Absolutely.
many of them along the way.
And they believed in it.
They believed in it, and they believed in you, and they believed in the fact that if there was anyone to talk about nonprofits in this community and really have their heart in it, you would be that person. So
No, there are a lot of people that have been doing this
Yeah.
with the nonprofits, because I was glad that I had the opportunity to do something that was so public as PadNet.
Right. Well, on behalf of the Heart of Giving audience, LBCAP, and thousands of Long Beach residents, I want to say to you, Dr. Beverly O'Neill, thank you for your lifetime of leadership, caring, and wisdom that you share with anyone, regardless of their socioeconomic place in life. Your ability to lift others to a sincere place of caring and believing is second to none. Long Beach is a greater city as a result of the impact you continue to make and have made, and your integrity is unwavering, your
Oh my,
commitment
that's enough.
incomparable. These are all the things that I feel as a leader that's watched you. We respect you, and more importantly, we love you for all that you have done and all that you are. From our heart, we say thanks for all that you give to this community, to the nonprofits, to PadNet, and you may have done your last show, but you haven't had your last time sitting here with me, because we're going to get you back here. We're going to get you
Anytime.
walk down that peninsula in your neighborhood, watch the sharks that I hear we've got out there now. We're
Yeah.
going to find things to do.
Yeah.
But I have just adored you. You know that.
Derek, thank you very much.
My pleasure, my pleasure.
Thank
And
you.
so you're going to stay around and you're going to stay in touch?
Oh, you bet. Oh,
Yeah.
my. No, I'm here
Yeah.
forever.
Okay, you better be. Yes,
Thanks.
yes, for sure. So any last thoughts from you as you close out?
Well, this was more than I thought. My goodness, I knew we were just having a few words about this being the last program of the Heart of Giving, but I have a feeling there'll be more now and then. Anyway, I thank you all, and Derek, thank you, and thank you, Alan, and all of the people that had something to say about. You're all part of my future, or were strong parts of my past, and you represent Long Beach to me. Thank you.